You ever sit down at the end of the month, open your banking app, and feel that quiet wave of frustration? Not because you bought something outrageous, not because you're reckless, but because no matter how hard you try, the numbers just don't stretch far enough. You look at your life and think, I'm not living extravagantly. I'm just living. Rent, food, gas, a few small comforts, nothing wild, and yet somehow you still feel tight. So your brain jumps to the obvious solution. I need to make more money. And yes, earning more helps. But here's the uncomfortable truth most people never examine. If your expense structure is inefficient, a higher income simply moves through a wider pipe. It doesn't automatically create relief. It just scales your lifestyle to match. Relief comes from control, and control can start in 60 focused minutes. Not by cutting everything you enjoy, not by going into monk mode, but by deliberately reviewing the systems that quietly charge you every single month without asking for your attention. Because most financial stress isn't caused by one big mistake. It's caused by dozens of small, unexamined defaults. So imagine this. You set a timer for 1 hour, phone on silent, laptop open, bank account and credit card statements ready. No multitasking, just you and the truth of your numbers. The first 20 minutes are about awareness. You scroll through the last 30 days slowly. No judgment, no inner commentary, just observation. You start noticing patterns. That food delivery app shows up more often than you thought. A few impulse purchases late at night, a subscription you forgot existed. Coffee runs that felt harmless in isolation, but add up when stacked together. Individually, none of these make you irresponsible. But collectively, they reveal your financial autopilot. And here's something powerful about human psychology. The act of observing your own behavior changes it. The moment spending becomes visible, it becomes harder to ignore. Awareness alone reduces waste. Then you move to the next 20 minutes. This is where most of the leverage hides. Fixed expenses. These are the anchors. Rent or mortgage, car payments, insurance, phone plan, internet, streaming bundles, gym memberships, software. These costs repeat every month whether you think about them or not. Most people assume these are permanent, locked in, non-negotiable, but companies count on that assumption. Within 60 minutes, you can compare car insurance quotes. You can check if your mobile plan is outdated. You can call your internet provider and ask for promotional pricing. You can review whether you're overinsured in some areas or paying for add-ons you don't use. Even small reductions matter. If you cut $30 from insurance, $25 from your phone plan, and cancel a $20 subscription, that's $75 per month. That's $900 per year, not from working overtime, not from burning yourself out, just from questioning defaults. That's leverage. And leverage is calmer than hustle. Then comes subscriptions and automatic renewals, streaming services, cloud storage, music apps, fitness apps, premium features you signed up for during a free trial and forgot about. Here's the question that changes everything. Would I sign up for this again today at this price? If the answer is no, it goes. Not because you're punishing yourself, but because automatic money leaving your account for things you don't value creates subtle stress. Subscriptions are dangerous because they're small. $8 here, $15 there. They don't feel threatening, but stack 7 or 8 of them together, and suddenly it's $120 a month vanishing quietly. That $120 is often the difference between ending at zero and ending with margin. Now we get to the final 20 minutes. This is where behavior shifts. Look at your variable spending. Food, eating out, coffee, shopping, convenience purchases, online orders, entertainment. You don't eliminate them, you refine them. Maybe delivery drops from 3 times per week to once. Maybe you meal prep 2 extra dinners. Maybe you set a rule that non-essential purchases wait 48 hours before checkout. Friction is powerful. Right now, most of your spending is frictionless. One-click ordering, tap to pay, auto-renew. Everything is designed to remove pause. When you add friction, you add intention, and intention changes outcomes. Because impulse spending is rarely about the item itself, it's about emotion. Relief after a stressful day, a small reward when you feel unappreciated, a distraction when you're bored. When you slow down the transaction, your rational brain has time to catch up with your emotional brain. That's where discipline becomes easier. Now, let's talk about something deeper. Every fixed expense you carry defines your monthly survival number. That's the amount of money required just to maintain your current life. If that number is high, you feel fragile. If that number is lower, you feel stable. Stability is underrated. It doesn't look impressive on social media. It doesn't attract praise, but it feels peaceful. When you reduce your monthly commitments by even $200, you permanently lower your stress baseline. That's $200 less you need to earn just to survive. That's breathing room. Imagine ending next month with an extra $250 simply because you cleaned up inefficiencies. That $250 becomes the beginning of a buffer, and a buffer changes your nervous system. When your car needs a repair and you don't panic, you feel different. When an unexpected bill shows up and you don't immediately reach for a credit card, you think differently. This is why cutting expenses matter. Not because you should shrink your life, but because you should expand your margin. Margin between income and spending. Margin between impulse and choice. Margin between stress and calm. Here's something else most people overlook. If you truly audit everything and discover your expenses are already lean, that's still valuable. Because now you know the pressure is structural, not careless. Maybe housing is too large a percentage of your income. Maybe debt payments are the real weight. That clarity informs bigger decisions later. But most people, when they do this honestly, find leaks. And leaks compound. If you save $300 per month, that's $3,600 per year. That's the beginning of an emergency fund. That's debt paid down faster. That's investing started earlier. But more importantly, that's mental relief. Financial stress doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers every time you swipe your card. When you intentionally reduce your monthly obligations, that whisper quiets. And when the whisper quiets, you make better long-term decisions. You negotiate better at work. You evaluate opportunities more calmly. You're less reactive and more strategic. The goal isn't deprivation, it's direction. You're not saying, I can't afford this. You're saying, I choose not to fund this. That language shift moves you from scarcity to agency. Scarcity says you don't have enough. Agency says you decide where it goes. And that mindset shift is powerful. This 60-minute reset won't solve everything overnight. It won't erase structural challenges, but it will expose inefficiencies. It will lower unnecessary commitments. It will create immediate space, and space creates confidence. You don't need a financial revolution. You need a financial review. One focused hour, one honest look, one set of intentional adjustments. That's how you cut your monthly expenses. Not dramatically, not painfully, but deliberately. Because the real upgrade isn't a new purchase. It's the feeling of knowing your money is moving on purpose. And that feeling starts with 60 intentional minutes. Take 1 hour. Review your numbers. Question the defaults. Because financial relief doesn't come from earning more. It comes from gaining control, not less life, just more margin. And it all starts with 60 intentional minutes. This 60-minute reset won't solve everything overnight. It won't erase structural challenges, but it will expose inefficiencies.